So this is Quideo number 4, and the basic question, part A, is asking what the sampling distribution of the mean percent X bar that the sample spends on housing if the null hypothesis is true, and to then go ahead and sketch a density curve. So here we have the sampling distribution of the mean percent, which the mean is going to be 31, and the standard deviation is going to be 1.5179, and we find that with our equation over here, which is the standard deviation equals the standard deviation over the square root of the sample size, which is 40 in this case. And then this is our density curve, and we've labeled the axes with the standard deviations, and we've marked off the means for the next part. So part B says, suppose the study finds X bar equals 30.2% for the 40 households in the sample. Mark this point, which we did, and then also the result of if it's X bar equals 27.6, and to mark that, and then to explain in simple language why one result is good evidence that average Cleveland spending on housing is less than 31% and the other is not. So we've marked both of those here on our sketch, and we found the p-values with our calculator. So we would go into stat and tests, and you would go ahead and do the z-test, and it is statistics, and the null hypothesis is that the mean is 31%, given up here. Standard deviation is 9.6. The X bar value, the first one given, is 30.2, and then our sample size is 40, and you want the null hypothesis to be greater. So that's how you get your p-value here of 0.2991, and you do the same for the 27. So you go back into z-test, and you just go ahead and change this to 27.6, and you calculate that, and that gives you this p-value of 0.0125. And 27.6 is good evidence that the average Cleveland spending on housing is less than 31%, because the p-value 0.0125 is less than the p-value of 0.2991 of the 30.2. A smaller p-value gives greater evidence to reject the null hypothesis, or HO, and less chance of a type 1 error. And then part C asks to shade the area under the curve that gives the p-value for the result of X bar equals 30.2%. So that's the shading up there.